right, today is Tuesday. We will be talking about job geofencing in Eagle Eye, how you set up a geofence within the job and how that will affect the work for parking lot work, as well as it would affect for larger activities such as municipal or highway work using an expansive geofence. So in order to have this, first you need to set up your job. Once you have your job set up, you need to make sure that there is a job address, and your job address is found in your job center under the job info and service info. In this case, we don't have one, so I'm going to come over here, copy and paste in this address. Once you have that address in the job center, it'll take you directly to that spot on the geofence. If you have no address in the job address, it's going to put you somewhere out in the Atlantic Ocean. So just note that you need to have a job address in there. So then you click Create Fence. If it already had a geofence and you wanted to edit it, this would say Edit Geofence. Come back here and say Create Geofence. It's going to take you in pretty close. So then you just zoom out and you look at the specific spot that you will be sweeping. And then you come over here, there's a hand, and then there's another shape. That one is the one that you would click to be able to create your different points. Now mind you, you want to make sure you go just outside of the area you're sweeping. If you create it right on the border, depending on how the unit reads, your operator may drive outside of the geofence, which then could cause problems with reporting. So you want to make it slightly larger than what you would expect. So in this case, I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to start. You just start clicking around here. You have unlimited points. So this parking lot is not necessarily a great example because it's a bunch of dirt. We'll just assume that it was paved, and that's why we're going to start to sweep it. Over here, come down this way. We're going to come across, and once you meet up with your first point, now that geofence is now created. If you have to adjust it after the fact, you just click on any of these points and you move them around. You can make any shape necessary. So if you've got some strange areas, you could make those weird shapes. However, note, if your operator drives out, comes in, drives out of the geofence for a period of time and comes back, and then goes out and comes back in, you're likely to have reporting problems. So just note that and make sure that you have your geofence slightly larger. So I'm going to come back here, and if we were going to go to one here, we can see that it has the geofence. If I wanted to edit it, I can come and look at it here and see the area. And if I scroll out a little bit farther, we're saying that we're doing that area that's in the box, and we're not doing this area over here, over here, over here. So the operator can see this on the mobile route sheet as well, so they know where they need to sweep. By having this in, if I go to view all schedule, this is on OR02 on Mondays. So then if I go to route record on Monday, and I go to OR02, and I'm going to want to look for 14 Orchard Lake Plaza. And I see that it is right here. And I can see that they were there from 11:48:05 to 12:14:15, and this was brought in because the unit went into the geofence, was there longer than 5 minutes, and exited the geofence. And therefore the time's auto-populated, which saves on your entry, it saves on your accuracy. These times will also show up in your GPS tab. And if I go find that same route, OR02, Unit 145, again, we see that that job is right here. We see the same times that were populated. And if I wanted to actually look at the work that was done, I can click View Job. And we can see the path that was taken on this particular job. So that way you know what work was done. If you are not pleased with your operator's work, you can show this as a learning opportunity to make sure that they know exactly what they should and shouldn't be doing. You can click the Trigger Geofence button, and that'll populate the geofences in the area. And then you can compare that against what they actually did, so you can use that as well as a learning tool for the operator. And if you needed, if they did a good job, you can also use it to show to your customer what work was done. Okay. Now we're going to look at an expansive geofence, which is slightly different, similar in nature. So an expansive geofence is for municipalities or counties or highway work. So first, let me go back here for a second. The expansive geofence button is right here. If this is checked, the intent is that it's for a very large area, not a parking lot, not intended for a parking lot. If I click Edit Geofence, we can see that this is a fairly large part of the city. Once the unit enters this area, then Eagle Eye will be looking to see how it is completing the inventory. So in here, we would draw inventory lines, and Eagle Eye would record what work was done according to what was supposed to be done. So we can see here that we're primarily sweeping in the subdivision, doing the roads for the city. And once the unit comes through here and sweeps in here, then it will record the time that it went through, and it'll turn the lines from red to green. And again, did this on 7/16. So if I wanted to see the service verification, we come here, we change our date to 7/16. Back to this date to 7/16, we say get verification. We can see that this turned green. And again, if I want to scroll in, I can highlight a segment, and that segment will tell me that these houses were swept on July 16th at 8:51 a.m. So if there were any questions on when it was done, you have that ability to have that service level detail. Okay. Same thing with creating these geofences, these expansive geofences. If I wanted to create a very large expansive geofence, Inkster, go back. refresh here. Come back to it. We'll look at a different, we'll go to the MDOT work here. Here in Belle Isle, if we wanted to, again, we would want to make sure we can see that this is larger than just the area, and that therefore it covers it. This would be the work that we would want to get done. That's the quoted work. Again, if we wanted to create it, you wouldn't be on the draw inventory. You'd be in the creating of the geofence area, and you would click this draw, and you would then start clicking around. Same as creating a parking lot. So that is creating a job geofence and how it affects and integrates with the GPS unit to populate your times as well as complete service verification. The customers you can use as internal or external service verification, and they can then see the work that was completed as well, as long as you provide access to them. You can provide access to customers using the Customer Access tab on the job, and you can provide access to a job or all jobs for a customer. That will complete our training for today. We look forward to having you at future trainings.